I'm Molly Carmel, and this is the podcast I always wish existed. A bite sized, on the ground, spiritual note that can shift your thinking and your outlook on life. Because sometimes that's all it takes, a small shift in what we choose to believe to make our day a little better and make us a little more awake, alive, and ascending. So today I want to talk about something that's really been on my mind. I don't know about you, but the world can feel particularly heavy these days. And the word trigger is just coming up like mad in my sessions, in my feed. And, a trigger is these moments that just send our nervous system right into these heightened states: fight, flight, freeze, appeasement. Sometimes people call that fawn. And I don't know, these days it can feel like the whole world is one big trigger. The news, the scrolling, the doom scrolling that never feels like doom scrolling. It feels like information seeking, and this constant uncertainty. It's a lot. It's a lot. And when these things happen, my nervous system does what it's wired to do. It just starts to search for safety. And I am a recovering addict. And honestly, I'm just a human being. And as both of those things, I can turn to all kinds of things to find that safety. I can eat when I'm not hungry. I can be convinced that the solution to my problem lies in online shopping. I can be, again, scrolling endlessly to find the truth. I can be, you know, getting my nose into people's business that isn't mine. I can start to micromanage everything to feel in control. I can start to pull back from people I love. I mean, what I'm saying is this list really is endless. And all of this, again, none of this makes me a bad person. This is not a moral issue, to say the least. This is my nervous system searching for safety. It's my nervous system trying to protect me. It's my nervous system saying, God, can we just feel okay? And so yesterday, actually, I was deep in one of these, swirly, overwhelmed days. And if I'm being transparent, friends, I think I was spending a little bit too much time on my little screen device and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and trying to read and figure it out, right? And I was in the kind of space where even taking a deep breath felt like work, honestly. And so, in this heightened state, as we would call it, I knew enough I should just like stand up. And it was a really beautiful day outside. And I stood up and I looked in my backyard. And I have this dog who I love I love my dog so much. He's this rescue lab mix who looks like George Clooney in Ocean's 11. Just a gorgeous animal, little like he's a gorgeous inside and out. And so I looked outside into my backyard and there was Danny. And he's a black dog, but he loves to sunbathe. It's funny. And he was just flat on his back in my backyard, sunbathing like not a care in the world, not a cloud in the sky, just sunbathing like it was his full-time job, which it sort of is, right? Belly to the sky, arms lifted up. It was just half, like just kind of sleeping, just blissed out in the warmth. It was so, I mean, listening, even my nervous system is changing, telling you this story. So if you don't think it works, it works. And I just kind of stopped and really watched him. And like I'm telling you the story, in that moment, something completely shifted for me. Like, and again, I mean, my day got complicated again, but there was this one moment where I just felt that same warmth and that same ease. And honestly, like my stomach unknotted, my face relaxed, my shoulders went down, and it was like this small spark moving through me, like a little shimmer glimmer of peace. And there's this great reading from August 26th it's called The Daily Inspiration. You know how I love a daily reader. So this is from the Daily Reader, called The Daily Inspiration. Many more things go right in a day than go wrong, but you will never notice if that one trying moment becomes your focus. Help me make a conscious effort to see the richness of my life and live with gratitude for all of its wonders. If you have more than you need, but still feel it isn't enough, then you are poor. May I take time to recognize and enjoy my blessings. One more time for those of you in the back row. Many more things go right in a day than go wrong, but you will never notice if that one trying moment becomes your focus. Help me make a conscious effort to see the richness of my life and live with gratitude for all of its wonders. If you have more than you need, but still feel it isn't enough, then you are poor. May I take time to recognize and enjoy my blessings. Ah, I love this. It's like a little teeny prayer, this one. I love it because it's really, I have to say, this thing about gratitude, it can really be a spiritual bypass, but life is not about pretending like everything's perfect. Please don't do that. Please, please, please. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but please don't do that. But what it is about, right, is about noticing what is already okay, even in the middle of what's not. And a sunbathing, handsome Labrador that is just like your best friend in life is a really beautiful moment to get yourself regulated. And I trained with a woman as a therapist. I trained in the Polyvagal Theory, which is some trauma therapy. And I trained with a woman named Deb Dana. She's amazing. She's amazing. And she wrote a book called Anchored, if anybody wants to go read about this. Incredible. And she calls these things glimmers. Isn't that good? I like to call them shimmers too, but here I am. And she describes glimmers as the opposite of triggers, these micro moments that cue our nervous system towards safety. They tell our body, you are okay here, just in this moment. And I love some science, and there's some real science behind that because when we are focused on noticing glimmers, our vagus nerve activates and our heart rate slows and our body remembers that it can rest. When I was telling you that story, my stomach undid knots. It's wild. We can really underestimate our nervous system, what they hold, what they absorb, what they need, most importantly. They're just trying to keep us alive in a world that is just constantly overstimulating us. And when we can give our nervous system these moments of safety, just like one good smell, one bit of light, one little sound of laughter, everything starts to recalibrate. And these glimmers, they're lifelines. Without them, it's so easy to reach for things that look like comfort, but don't actually satisfy, right? The sugar, the scrolling, the shopping, the control, the micromanaging. I don't know what your flavor is, but I'm hard pressed to not like a flavor. And so our job is to start to notice these glimmers and really take them in mindfully, one-mindedly. And it's how we can start to fill ourselves with what actually nourishes us. That's the kind of safety that heals. So our word of the day is glimmer. Glimmers are a flash of safety. It's the sensory whisper that says, right now, in this moment right now, you're okay. And that may be your coffee in the morning, how it smells, just that first sip. It might be the way your friend laughs, or, the way the light hits the trees, or the way your funny little black Labrador just lays on his back in the sun, with his feet in the air. Like he's got it all figured out, that guy. I think he might. And, when you can find a glimmer, don't rush past it. Let it soak in. Let your body register it. Let your nervous system register it, because that's how we build resilience. Micro moments, one micro moment of safety at a time. So here's my question for you today. What's one glimmer that you can notice today? Just a small, ordinary moment that reminds your body that you're safe, that you're alive, and that you're deeply blessed. Just one. Maybe it's already waiting for you. Maybe, I'm sure it is. Maybe you just need to look up and take a moment and see it. So that's our show. Thank you so much for climbing with me today. And remember that this world is noisy, but you can always come back to one small, glimmery, shimmery good thing. So until next time, I'm here rooting you on through the chaos and through the still.